The soggy middle, that was my very big challenge. My agent was very interested in my book. She liked my writing, she liked the premise, she liked the beginning and the ending, but she didn't much care for the soggy middle. And as a condition of signing with her, I agreed to do deep revisions. And I cut 150 pages out of the middle of my book and threw it away. Just cut and throw. And I rewrote it. I went to Squaw Valley Writers Conference. I read books. I gave my book to my book group. I got all the opinions I could find and rewrote the middle section. About that time, my agent started submissions, and it went out to 12 editors. I went camping, so I wouldn't think about it. And when I came back from camping after a week in the Smoky Mountains with no shower, no laundry, in the rain, we were a wreck, my children and I, and we went with some other women friends and their children, and we had been out of contact with civilization for an entire week. I couldn't check my email if I wanted to. But when I did check my email, I had very bad news. I had 8 swift rejections, and they all said that the book was not compelling enough. So I figured my career was over. I was done. You know, I went to bed and woke up at 3:30 in the morning and had one of those experiences where you remember, oh, my dream is dead. And I got up and looked at all the emails, and I looked for a pattern, trying to understand, you know, what was the problem, what was the cause for all the rejections. And I found a pattern. It said it's not compelling enough. And so I cut the 150 pages in the middle again. The same 150 pages. I threw them out. I hadn't quite gotten to the point where I understood how to make that middle part, that very long second act of the book, bring the writer through. I hadn't created enough progressive complications in the book. And I drove that day from Nashville to Amarillo with a pad and pen, and I just made lists of tension, all the different kinds of tension I could think of that would relate to my character. I brought material that I was saving for a sequel into the second act of my book, because what's the point of having a sequel if you can't get the first one published? And I cut characters, I consolidated, I moved a lot of the action forward. I changed things that I had just been telling the reader. I changed them into revelations that they had to work up to. And when my agent submitted it the second time, it was sold at auction, and there it is.